There's an item in Runescape that lets you do Slayer tasks without actually being on task. It's called the Slayer wildcard, and at first they don't really seem worth it until you realize what they can do. Let's cover them, so whenever you're ready, grab your cup of tea, sit back, relax, and enjoy. Slayer wildcards are items you can buy from the Grand Exchange or obtain through treasure hunter promotion. They are a single-use token consumed upon kill that will make a non-Slayer task creature behave as if you were on Slayer task, both drop rate and experience-wise. Now, in case you were thinking of attacking certain creatures without being a high enough Slayer level, you still need the actual Slayer level to deal damage against a said Slayer creature. These cards can, however, be used to kill creatures that are normally a task-only creature, such as Edimu, as you can clearly see in the footage on screen, in which I have no task, and yet I'm able to kill and gain experience from Edimu. The cards even work inside elite dungeons if the creature you are attacking has a Slayer equivalent. And know before you ask, these cards do not provide you with the Slayer damage and accuracy buff. I made sure to check by using the Monster Examine spell. Currently, Slayer wildcards will set you back around 85,000 GP a piece, which is quite expensive if you consider that a Slayer assignment would usually be around 100 kills or more depending on the task. Whether or not these items are worth using depends very much on the creature, because if a Slayer creature has a high value drop, it doesn't necessarily mean that these cards are worth using. For these cards to be worth using, the drop rate on task needs to be significantly higher. Perhaps something like Moss Golem. Cinderbanes are a very rare 1 in 5,000 drop off task, however when you're on task you have a 1 in 1,500 chance. If we divide the price of a set of Cinderbanes by these drop rates, we can calculate the GP per kill on average for that item. The difference between the off and on task GP per kill values is the amount of extra profit you would be making for just that item, in case of Cinderbanes, being 36,000 more for being on task. So every single kill on average you're making 36,000 GP more. Add a couple of more items like Grimoire pages and the Ancient Elven Ritual Shard, and you know how much more you'll be making per kill on average for a Moss Golem task. This then would be the value you should compare to the price of Slayer wildcards to figure out if they are worth using. As it turns out, these items are not worth using even at Moss Golems. In case you have hope for this item, let's take two other examples, being Abyssal Lords and Living Wyverns. In both cases, the wildcards would net you a loss, and that's if you were going exactly on drop rate as well. Why? Well, because the increased drop rates from being on task or using wildcards and the relatively low value for the rarity of these items does not make up for the cost of the wildcard. So they're not worth using. Now, these wildcards can still be useful for obtaining rare drops for your Slayer collection logs from tasks that are too fast, such as Ripper Demons or Living Wyverns, but it's going to cost you a pretty penny. Alternatively, these cards can be used during new Slayer monster releases to keep farming them without needing to force new tasks, saving a bunch of Slayer points. But what if you don't care about making money and you just want to get experience? Well, in that case, wildcards can save you the time of running to a Slayer master and using Slayer points to again skip to that good task you want. And then it dawned on me. You can use Slayer wildcards to kill a creature without being on task as long as you have the Slayer level. There are Slayer creatures out there that give heaps of experience and yet have no Slayer level requirement, like Greater Demon Ashlords and Berserkers. These Greater Demon boys only require level 1 Slayer, but could be done as low as level 35 using the Simona Slayer Master with their Greater Demons task, and recently thanks to the Raptor NPC level 10. In theory, and probably in reality, although I do not want to waste a bond to test it, you can make a new account, level your combat, ignore Slayer, get a bunch of decent gear, and then buy a bunch of wildcards and just camp at Greater Demon Berserkers to get level 99, 120, or even 200 mil Slayer. Yes, you are still able to safe spot them, so you could do it with fairly mediocre gear as well. This means that by stocking up on a couple of hundred, well 889 Slayer wildcards and camping these Berserkers, which give you a whopping 14.666k XP, you can get 99 Slayer. But it gets even better, as these Slayer wildcards work with the Scrimshaw of Sacrifice, an item that increases XP gain, including Slayer, by 50% at the cost of your drop. Meaning instead of 889 cards, you would only need 593 cards for a level 99 Slayer. Would this be a good idea to do for the entire route to level 99 Slayer? No, probably not, unless your goal is to max, because you wouldn't have access to the full Slayer helmet, which requires Slayer points to obtain. But hey, for those of you who don't care about killing the same creature all the way up to 200 mil experience, this is how many cards you would need with and without the Scrimshaw of Sacrifice. And for ease of camping, it doesn't even seem all that bad. I mean, this is the second best Slayer task in the game, and depending on your gear, maybe even the best Slayer task you could be doing anyway. But yeah, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it interesting. If you did, leave a like down below and maybe even consider subscribing, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.